Hello, Facebook. Hi. How are you? Welcome to Tuesdays with Mish. And it is now, we're now at episode 24. So Tuesdays with Mish is all about, it's a series that I created to talk about the things that I'm going through, the thoughts and the process of this artist journey that I'm on, and also to just share my thoughts on how to live the life you love. And to me, that means how to, like, being happy, because when you live the life that you truly love and truly love deep in your heart, then you're happy. And that's me. What I wanted to share today is actually something that came from a question to me the other day. So someone reached out to me a week ago and said, hi Michelle, I'm really inspired by what you do and your story, and just wondered if you have time to meet up and have a coffee. And of course I said, yeah, sure, because I know that deep down in me, I have something and I want to be creative, but I don't quite have the courage to do it, and I'd love to hear your story. And this ties is really similar to another question that I got some time ago by another person that said, I read your story and I'm so inspired, but I really like to know, did you have all these fears too that I have now? Like, I really want to make that jump. I really want to quit my job and really go and do what I really want to do, but at the same time I don't have the courage, and I want to know, how do you find your courage to do what you do right now? And I don't often have the right answer to that, apart from close your eyes and jump. But today I was listening to a video, a talk by Gilbert. She's the author of the book Eat, Pray, Love. This famous story that was made into a movie, and she's written quite a few books ever since. And she's also written a book, her latest book is Big Magic. And so I was actually listening to her talk on the big magic. What is the big magic? So in her words, she said, a creative life is an amplified life. Creative living is where big magic abides. So to her, that big magic is when you're able to find that creative life. That's when it happens. And she says, from her, what she says is, finding your creative life doesn't mean quitting your job, giving up your lifelong career to go and be an artist or be a singer or be a performer or dancer or writer. No, it doesn't mean that. She actually gave quite a few examples of people and friends she have out there who are enjoying and living their creative life, but still have their full-time jobs and are still moms and dads and real life people, right? So, and I think that is my point as well. And I know it's really hard, and okay, fine, I am now a full-time artist, but I do run a business, so it is essentially two jobs at the same time. So it is, and learning how to strike that balance is part of the challenge. But the essence is, the creative life does not mean, first of all, giving up your entire current present life as you know it. It means opening up another door to that heart of yours that is so magical and so beautiful that I want all of you to be able to find it. Right, so and Elizabeth talks about fear. So she was writing, talking about, she was literally listing all these fears that everybody has. Like, everybody who dreams about having the creative life have all these fears. You're afraid, you're afraid that your dreams are embarrassing, your ideas sound stupid, you don't make a difference, someone else is doing it better, someone else has already done it, someone is going to steal your idea, so you rather keep it to yourself anyway, so no one steals your ideas. You're afraid of being exposed. You're afraid of unleashing your innermost demons. I'm afraid of that. You're afraid you're too old. You're afraid you're too young. I've met people who are afraid they're too young. You're afraid that you're a one-hit wonder. You're afraid that you're a no-hit wonder. You're afraid you have no talent. You're afraid you have no skills. You're afraid of everything. Basically, the list goes on and on and on, and she talks about the fear. And she talks about how in her own process, and she grew up being a really fearful kid. She was afraid of everything. And she talks about how her mom makes her face all her fears. And now she talks about then how to deal with the fear. You know, the point is not to get rid of the fear, because actually from a creativity standpoint, which I totally agree with actually, once you kill fear, you often kill creativity as well. And you know, her point was you actually learn to make space for fear. You make a space so that fear and creativity can coexist. You invite fear to live with you. And you invite fear to lie out and stretch out and live and breathe, because fear is the one thing, she says, that keeps you alive. Fear is the one thing that keeps you from jumping off the cliff. Fear is the one thing that holds you back from making that stupid investment that would have lost you $1 million, or you know, if you had your entire life savings. So fear is good, and part of the process is acknowledging that fear is good. But the trick is to learn to invite fear as part of your creative process and life, and allow it to go along creativity, your creativity friend, and just develop, right? And just stay there. So she talks about how she actually has a conversation with fear and says, "Dear fear, creativity and I are about to go on a road trip, and I invite you along too. But there are a few things, rules of the roads, that you can't do. You cannot, for example, you cannot make decision on the snacks, you can't do this, you can't do that, and most importantly, you can't hold the steering wheel." So I think that's really cool. That's a really, really cool tip. And I've listed a couple of links to her talks, to her interviews actually, and I would invite you to listen to them, because I just find it so inspiring and so true. I'm now learning, as part of my own process as an artist, as a young budding artist, to learn to deal with fear, confront fear, and use fear in my creative process. Because I'm afraid, like, what if I'm wrong? What if I made a mistake? What if that face is not supposed to be, like, you know, what if the dimensions are wrong? So there's all these fears that goes on in the artist's head or any creative person's head. But the point is to acknowledge and say it is all right to have fear. We just got to learn how to live with it. And on that note, I'm gonna wish you a happy day, a great day. Have a great day and have a great week ahead. And I'll see you soon. Bye.